Hello, Baron. How did the cleansing go? Well, I'm always glad to see you, but obviously not under these circumstances. So Miss Rose would like you to go away on a little trip. Yes, I hear there's been some trouble. Okay, well, I know in the past we've done some awfully adventurous trips in these cases, but I think this time we'll keep it short and sweet. Is that all right with you? Okay, and I know it has to be right away. So I have pulled up a few that I could actually arrange to get you on a flight this evening. So let me tell you about our options. The first would be a 2-week trip to Bali. Yes, and I can get you a flight this evening. Yes, let's take a look. So, we would get you on a flight. It does take about 36 hours door to door to get to Bali. And have you ever been before, Baron? No. It's beautiful. It should be a very nice and relaxing visit, if that's what you are looking for. I know after this ordeal, you may be looking for something a bit relaxed and rejuvenating. So, on your first day, you would start your holiday in Seminyak. This is not far from the airport. The flight is so long that I like to, when I go to Bali, stay near the airport so I can adjust in comfort and not have a long drive after such a long flight. So you don't have far to go even if you get in late at night. Seminyak is also near Kuta. Kuta is sort of the nightlife capital of Bali, and it's right on the beach. But it's not in Kuta, so you can relax and unwind. And there's plenty to do in Seminyak and the surrounding areas. So it should give you a nice little introduction to your Bali holiday. But again, it's a little town off of the highway, so there's not a ton of beautiful rice fields or anything like that. Get to that later. So this would be for your first 4 days, and you can go and explore the streets of Seminyak. There's a lot of shopping, everything from clothes to furniture to art galleries. You can relax on the beach. It's right on the beach, and in Bali, the shopping will even come to you on the beach, so you will have hawkers that walk around on the beach, but you can ask the staff if you don't want to be bothered as well. So there's a square that has markets as well, and many local warungs that have cuisine. Warungs open at all different times of the day, and they're on the side of the street. They may be little carts, or they may be sort of pop-up restaurants. And there's also a lot of trendy bars. Yes, you could try potato head or kudeta. Oh, kudeta. Yes, and there's a lot of warungs that we can recommend as well. I would recommend that you have to try the martoba. It's delicious. You can get it sweet or a bit more savory, and it's kind of like an omelet, but like no omelet you've ever had before. There's also many fine dining restaurants, and Bali is the place to get a massage. So there are spas everywhere. There's luxury spas in the hotel where you'll be staying, or you can get a massage right on the beach. Yes, so you can also go up to Kuta or Lake Yan. there's shopping there and more bars, and again, it's a big touristy area, so it's nice to get adjusted, but we'll get you some more culture soon. Now, it is near Tanah Lot, so you can take a look at that Balinese temple near Tabanan. It's not too far away. There are many tourists that go there, and the tour guides will take you as well if you want to decide on a day to do that. There's also a water park that you can try, and a surfing school. Yes, right on the beaches, right there. There's plenty of surfing, and it's a fun place to learn because the waves aren't huge right in that area. So then on your 5th day, the tour will take you up to Ubud. Ubud is more up in the mountains, so it's a bit cooler, which is nice too. It takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get up there, even though it's not that far. And this is really the heart of Bali. It's the cultural hub. You're surrounded by rice fields, yoga barns. Yes, it's where all of the eat, pray, love sections of Bali occurred. And that's changed the town a little bit, but there's still plenty of out-of-the-way areas. So it has quite a bit of traffic, but if you stay in the village, it's really easy to walk around. So we can set you up with a small homestay or something a bit more resort-like up in the mountains. I actually know there's a really beautiful resort, a bit of a walk into the rice fields, so it's a bit more isolated, but it's absolutely gorgeous. So maybe a few days in town where there's more. Actually, in town I also know of a little hotel that's got sort of suites and your own private pool. It's a quite lovely place to stay, so we can set you up there, and then also set you up for a couple of days in the rice fields if you'd like to get away a little. Okay, so you want to walk around Ubud, or you can also hire a taxi to drive you around. This is also a great place to get a massage. The local cuisine is wonderful. You want to try the babi guling at Ibu Okas. If you are adventurous, it is very hot, but it's the roast suckling pig. It's delicious, and if you get there in the heart of the day, it will also be very busy. It's a very well-known place. So, and you can also learn to cook the local cuisine by taking a cooking class. We can sign you up for, there's a wonderful lobong cooking class, and they'll take you to the market and shopping and all that. It's actually very fun. You can also walk through the rice fields to Sari Organic for lunch. It's a really nice place and beautiful, beautiful views. There's lots of shopping in Ubud, as always, and you can do a bike riding tour from the mountains down through local villages. We can set you up with Bali Eco Cycling, and you can also take a lesson in Bali Arts and Crafts at the Arma, which is one of the local museums, or the Pendak Pitsak Library. They have arts and crafts lessons too. Yes, painting and wood carving and all the things that Bali's known for. Batik. There's also whitewater rafting right on the river there, and lots of yoga. Nowadays there are lots of yoga places, but we recommend the yoga barn. And you can also go to Moss Village in a taxi, which is nearby, and they do most of the wood carving and furniture making in the area. So that's fun. This tour in Bali, I've been to Bali several times, so this is a more customized tour. It would just be you, and I would arrange all of the travel for you. So if you're feeling more solitary, this would be the tour for you. The second tour I have is more of a group kind of tour. So day 8 to 10, we would have you go to Padang Bai. Candidasa and Ahmed. So this is a really beautiful part of Bali. It's really known for its snorkeling and swimming. In Ahmed, when I was there was snorkeling probably 5 yards from the edge of the beach, so you don't have to take a boat out. You can just step out on the beach at your hotel, and it's really lovely. There's a shipwreck that you can dive at, and it's a little bit quieter than Kuta, but you are on the water, Kuta and Seminyak. It takes about 2.5 hours to get there from Ubud, and it is a beautiful drive. You do want to take a taxi, though. I would arrange a taxi driver that I trust for you. You really want to try to avoid the motorbikes that will offer you rides. It's just a bit dangerous. And please, please do not rent a motorbike while you're there. I know you don't injure easily, but it is so stressful and difficult if you do get in an accident, even if you are not hurt. So it's not the way I want you spending your time. I will arrange a driver who will be at your beck and call. And then after that, on day 11 to 14, I'll arrange for you to go back to Jimbaran, Uluwatu area. These are south of Kuta. It's a little sort of peninsula at the bottom of Bali, and it has some of the most beautiful beaches. It's also a bit more exclusive, so there's some beautiful resorts down there. Jimbaran Beach is best for swimming, while a lot of the beaches surrounding Uluwatu are really good for surfing. Do you surf, Baron? Great, okay. Both areas have a very laid-back vibe, but they're closer to some of the more central parts of Bali. So if you want to go back to Kuta or Seminyak, you're not far. Yes, it's a really nice place to unwind before you return home. So we can set you up in either Jimbaran or Uluwatu based on pretty much the resort that you're interested in staying in, but I have several options for you. And we could even split your time in both areas. So this is, again, a nice place to get a massage. The hotel you're in will have a wonderful spa. There's a local market here as well. A fruit market, fruit and vegetable market, and there's also seafood markets on the beach. Yes, so there are arrangements through the hotel, so you can buy your own seafood and they will cook it for you, which is nice. There's also many places to get seafood dinners on the beach, and that's really nice. There's a nice bar at Ayana Resort, and it's nice to be at the bar and watch the sunset. It's lovely. And you can also go to the Uluwatu temple and the Kecap fire dance. So if you have not seen a Kecap before, you definitely should. It's really fun. I will also arrange a few more performances. I can arrange some personal performances with some musicians that I know as well. That will be a bit more traditional. I may even be able to get you into a temple performance just because I have friends there. But the tourist performances are fun too. They really are. So we'll set up some of those, especially in Ubud. I know a local group that actually tours all around the U.S. and they're a bit south of Ubud, but I can probably at least get you into a rehearsal if they're not doing performances currently. And unfortunately, it's not the Bali Arts Festival right now, so that's the best way to go and hear kind of the best of the best in Bali. And while you're in Ubud, we want to make sure that you get to the monkey forest too. I mean, it's hard to miss when you're in Ubud, but that's kind of fun because there's monkeys all over. Just don't bring anything of value because they will steal it or break it. So, all right, so that is option number 1. And again, that is something I would arrange for you. It's a bit more personal, and I think you would really enjoy it. So let me pull up the information on your second. So this is a group tour, and this is a group tour of Ireland. Yes. So it's a private guided tour along the shores of northern and the southern coast. It's a comprehensive Ireland tour. So your first week is the north and your second week is the south. So it's a nice balance to really see Ireland. Obviously you can't see everything in 2 weeks, but it gives you a nice little overview. So you would arrive and start your trip in Belfast. It's a beautiful Victorian city. Have you been before? Okay. You know the Titanic was built there, so you can go to the Titanic Quarter and look around. Go see Falls Road and the murals, and again, this is all as part of the tour. They tour the Parliament Building and visit an authentic 19th century Crown Liquor Saloon. It's a restored national landmark, so that's kind of a fun part to start off. They start off a little slow so you can get acclimated. And then you'll go down to where the Good Friday Agreement was negotiated and go to the St. Patrick's Center beside Down Cathedral, and Patrick's grave is dedicated to the patron saint right there. You can go and discover more of the missionary activity, metalwork, and illuminated manuscripts that are all right there. And then we'll have you travel via ferry to the Ards Peninsula to Mount Stewart House. This is the garden and temple of the winds. The house was home to a fascinating array of political leaders and society figures. The gardens are beautiful, and they've been restored to what they would have been like. If there's inclement weather, they visit the Castle Ward instead. They have a lot, because of the frequent inclement weather in Ireland, they have a lot of backup plans. So now, I have not personally been on this tour, but I know the company that runs it very well. They're very discreet, and they do a wonderful job. They are not they have a nice balance between keeping you busy and allowing you your own time to do what you want. So I really recommend them, although I apologize if my pronunciation is a bit rocky since I have not been on this tour myself. So then the next day you'll go to the Coast Road, the Giant's Causeway, and there's another castle tour. It's a beautiful road. And then you'll go see the Giant's Causeway, which is an area of about 40,000 interlocking basalt columns. Yeah, it's the result of an ancient volcanic eruption. And then there's another castle tour. It's up on a stunning cliff, and there's extensive ruins of the medieval castle. It's the ruins. It's not the actual. It's not an actual historic house tour or anything, right? Then the following day, you'll go to Derry. So you'll go down to Londonderry, and you'll view the most notable and historic feature of the city, which is its walls. They are the most complete city walls in Europe. They're almost a mile in circumference, and they form a cobbled walkway around the city. So you get a unique promenade towering above the city streets. Yes, it's lovely. And then your guide will lead you on a walk along the broad expanse of the walls. It's about 45 minutes long. You'll pass by the Victorian 1890 Guild Hall with its impressive stained glass windows. And then you'll pass small farm villages within sight of the Sperrin Mountains as you'll travel by car down to the Ulster American Folk Park. And yes, it's a lot of fun. You book a passage on the ship bound for America, and you emerge as in a recreated Irish village of long ago. It's And then there's a nice bed and breakfast stay at the end of that day with a home-hosted dinner. So yeah, they do a lot of those little local touches, which are nice. And then you'll go to Bali Pottery the following day. It's a great place. I know you're moving into a new home, so it might be a good place to pick up some housewares if you need some. Yeah. And it's a nice little reminder, and they'll ship them right home for you. Then you'll go to see an ancient ecclesiastical city. Yes, it's home to both Protestant and Catholic cathedrals. And then you'll go to Hillsborough Castle. Yes, it's got really beautiful wrought iron gates from what I've seen in the pictures. Then you'll return to Belfast. And then you'll travel through the Boyne Valley with megaliths, high crosses, Stone Age burial tombs. It's really interesting, down to Dublin. So that's just your first week. The second week in Dublin, you'll go to Trinity College, and then you get to see the Book of Kells and St. Patrick's Cathedral. You'll go to the Guinness Storehouse in the heart of Old Dublin, and you get to sample. Are you a beer drinker, Baron? Yes, I know many people who are not really beer drinkers, but they are in Ireland. I tried my fair share on my trip as well. Then there is storytelling, dinner, and traditional music, and a candlelight Dublin pub. They do like to get some sessions in with some local musicians, which is very nice. It's one of Dublin's oldest pubs, and it was a popular haunt back in the 1600s. Yes, and they have a storyteller who entertains with oral tales of fairies, Celtic warriors, legendary deed-doing. And tales are told and songs are sung. It's just a nice evening. And at that point, you'll know the people you're touring with a bit better, so it's a bit more comfortable to do that in the middle of the tour. They have a turf fire. It's just really romantic and lovely. So then the following day you go to Powers Court Estate and Gardens and Glendalough. It's a charming garden with striking terraces, statuary, all kinds of trees, linked by carefully designed walks, and it's set in magnificent surroundings of the Wicklow Mountains. Yes, it's lovely. Then you'll go to the monastery. It was founded by St. Kevin. He was a hermit monk who died in 618 AD. There are extensive ruins of the monastery, including several early churches and a graceful round tower in a spectacular scenic setting. Then you'll go down to Kilkenny, and you'll get to just relax a bit. This is kind of a recuperation day. You'll travel through the horse breeding centers. You'll visit Kilkenny Castle and stay in Kilkenny. It's a very special town with cobbled streets and castle. It's a really beautiful Irish medieval town. And then you'll stay as welcome guests in a local home. It's wonderfully located, and it's fully equipped, comfortable, homey, and clean, and you'll have a pub lunch. It is a small group that goes, so they are able to do things like have you stay with locals, which is nice. Then you'll go down to visit the new WhisperCrystal facility and store, so you can get more housewares if you would like some. And then you'll take a scenic route to a small fishing village. It was once a base for the British Navy, and then it's also a departure point for many Irish immigrants. Then you'll go over and visit Blarney with a chance to kiss the Blarney Stone if you would like. And it is really a beautiful travel day as well. Then you'll go to the Ring of Kerry the following day. This is incredible. So it's really scenic and it's just spectacular. Yes. The views are magnificent because you're right on the shoreline. It's really one of nature's masterpieces. And then you'll travel down and you'll see all the beautiful mountain vistas and rugged landscapes along the way. You'll go through Killarney by Pony and Trap. Yeah, it's fun. So you want to have your camera. And then there's another pub evening with a session with local musicians as well. So that's nice. And then your last full day, you travel to Adair. It's got beautiful thatched cottages, and then there's a farewell castle medieval dinner. It's not really hokey, there's no jousting, but it is traditional food, traditional mead, and it's just fun. It's at Bunratty Castle. It's built in 1460. It's right on the edge of the river. It's really lovely. And you can stay at a wonderful 5-star castle hotel. And then after that, you're traveling home from the Shannon Airport. So, is there one of these that appeals to you? So the Bali one is a little bit more relaxing and more personal. We can set up as much or as little as you would like. If you really want to spend a lot of time in the hotel, that's fine. If you want me to arrange some personal trips, we can do that. Or we can book the trip to Ireland. Both of them you would leave this evening or at the latest first thing in the morning. For the Ireland, it won't take you as long to get to Ireland, so if I got you out in the morning, you would still get there in time. But does one of these really jump out at you? Okay, that's what I thought. I want to give you 2 options. Yes. Okay, so let me book that. All right, let me just take a look. Okay. I can get you out tonight. So you have about 4 hours to get ready. Will that do? Yes, Miss Rose says she already has a bag packed for you, apparently with clothes that are all exactly chosen for this new persona that you have, and good for travel. She says she just packed 2 bags for the 2 different itineraries because you need all new clothes anyway. So you're really ready to go. So if you want to relax and grab some food, I can have a car here to pick you up in about 2 hours. And they'll take you over to the airport, and you and I can chat a little bit to make sure that everything is all set that you want for your trip. Does that sound good to you? Well, I think you're going to have a wonderful time, and I think it'll be a nice little break. And I'll see you when you return. You know my number in case you have any troubles. Contact me without hesitation. Okay? Yes, anything with the tours, anything, let me know, okay? All right, Baron, I'll get that all set for you, and I'll see you in a couple of hours to take you to the airport.